Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is no, okay? The answer is no, all right? For the love of God. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to entertain it, and so I'm going to entertain it because everybody and their mother on X, I've been scrolling it. I went for a walk. I had some lunch and everything along those lines, and I've been seeing everybody, literally everyone that talks Bills on the internet has brought this up, all right? Everybody has brought this up. If y'all didn't see it yet, it sounds like that Devante Adams and the Raiders more specifically have been starting to call across the league, gauging interest if they would like to make a trade for Devante Adams, right? So this all started this morning where Antonio Pierce liked a post on X suggesting that he would be traded. He was on the Kay Adams show this morning where she was asking him about it, and evidently Antonio Pierce hasn't said a word to him whatsoever. So it sounds like he's all but gone from that organization. So obviously, a lot of us are in the chat right now or even on X, and they're like, oh my God, Dan, is it possible, right? Well, let me tell you what. When it comes into the cap, okay, just about anything is possible, all right? However, there's two questions here. Number one is, can we afford it? And then number two, even if we can afford it, would Brandon Beane do it? And I will come out and I will say that Brandon Beane more than likely would not do this. Look at how he deals with the cap space his entire career. You could just see it in his face. It's bothering him. It's bothering Brandon Beane that we had to walk away from the Diggs contract. We had to bite that bullet financially. This year by itself is a Moneyball year. So I generally don't see it happening. I think that he's completely fine with all of the talent that we have on the offense already. I genuinely believe that. Next year, when money starts to open up from some of these dead contracts falling off, this is an entire different story. But for any of you that are like, Dan, what about an alternate universe? What if Devante Adams actually does? Or what if Brandon Beane is truly interested? How the hell would he do it? Well, let me tell you what. This is how you have to look at it right here, okay? For any Raiders fans that are out there that are saying, no, he just bought a house in Las Vegas, he's under contract until 2026, you need to understand a couple of things when it comes into these contracts. When you are on over the cap, and right now where you see this red parentheses about $15 million off to the side, in 2024, this is everything that he is owed. $16.8 million, a signing bonus, which was already paid to him, so that team wouldn't have to pay that. A per-game roster bonus at around $500,000, and then a workout bonus of around $100,000. But what I wanted to point out is that when you see this in parentheses, this means that if a team were to walk away, that means that they would basically be paying money that season for that player not to be on the roster. However, when you see no parentheses in the year prior, and that's in 2025 for Devante Adams' case right here, that means that they would actually gain money toward the cap. They would save money during the cap at the end of the day. So anybody thinking that the Raiders aren't going to trade him due to his contract, it's not a case. He has an out next year. So what would a team right now have to pay Devante Adams if he were to be traded? And let's assume that they are going to wait until the trade deadline coming up on November 5th, by the way. So you have $16.89 million. We'll just round up and say $17 million right here, right? Base salaries in the NFL are paid out weekly. So $17 million divided by 18. Dude's making $944,000 per week as a Las Vegas Raider. And there's already been 4 weeks of football that have been played. So November 5th, let me go ahead and pull up the Raiders' schedule real fast. Let me see if they do ultimately end up waiting until the trade deadline when that would happen, right? So there from now where the Raiders are standing right now, folks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 more games. So that would be 9 games in total before he was traded in general. Okay. So 944,000 here. Let me go ahead and knock this out real fast. $944,444 per game. This is about what he makes each and every single game. And let's say for shits and giggles that this Raiders team waits until right at the end of the trade deadline. That's best case scenario. That's times 9. So that is $8.5 million that he would have collected based off of his base salary. If you go this 17 million minus 8,500,000, a team would only be responsible for $8.5 million base salary for Devante Adams if he were to be traded over to that squad, based off of how these base salaries work. Now, why I think that Brandon Beane is not going to do this is because right now where the Bills stand, we have about $3 million in cap space. Now, this doesn't completely put us out of the comp test. And before anybody comes in here, be like, dude, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, dude? It's not possible. Listen, stop being miserable for 3 seconds and let me have fun. Damn. If, for example, that a team didn't restructure this contract whatsoever, what they would do is that they would restructure this automatically, give him a signing bonus, backload it toward the end of the year, and they could probably end up getting his salary down to about $1 million with a massive signing bonus. Like we're talking like $20-30 million for like 5 years, stretch that out for a couple, backload it, some guarantees here and there, blah, blah, blah. So that's basically how that all kind of plays out. If the Raiders, in summary, if the Raiders were to wait until the trade deadline, which is November 5th, that is 9 games accumulated, he would have been paid $8.5 million of the base salary that he is already owed. So the new team has to be responsible for $8.5 million. They could restructure that on jump, transition his salary over to $1 million, and then give him a massive signing bonus and equally spread out that signing bonus throughout the next couple of years. Again, do I think the Buffalo Bills are going to do it? Absolutely not. I do not see them doing it. However, it's still fun to talk about, baby. It's still fun to talk about. As much as I hate saying it, he's not going to be a Kansas City Chief. These Las Vegas Raiders are not going to send him over to a divisional rival. It's just not going to happen. In my opinion, the two biggest candidates would be the New York Jets being paired up with Rodgers, because we all know that Saleh is absolutely desperate right now. He is coaching for his damn job, and if he has to get anything done, he has to bring Devante Adams over, right? That's his last-ditch effort. That's his Hail Mary to save his damn career as a head coach in this football league. I think Washington Commanders would certainly be interesting. I definitely think they would be interesting. And then also the Pittsburgh Steelers, who I have at this point. Because, like, you look at all these teams. Here, let me take a look at over the cap. And I'm just kind of thinking what we could be looking at. I have no idea how the 49ers right now have all of this cap space. I genuinely do not. But the Browns have some money. The Patriots have some money. The Lions have some money. The Raiders, Commanders have some money. The Cowboys, potentially. The Cardinals, the Jets have about 16. So the Jets could certainly afford it. And so could all of these teams. But I think the Cowboys are more desperate for a running back than another wide receiver, to be completely honest with you. And then maybe the Lions would be able to make a move, which would be absolutely scary. And then also at the exact same time, maybe the Browns. But why would they do that when their offensive line is on absolute life support? Who's throwing him the football, right? So my biggest candidates right now for the Devante Adams contest is going to be, okay, the New England Patriots, although that I highly doubt that he would want to go there, but he doesn't. I don't think he has a no trade clause. So in his contract, let me know if I'm wrong, but I almost guarantee that he doesn't have a no trade clause. Pats would definitely be in there. Lions would be scary as fuck. Lions would be scary as shit if they were sent over there. And quite frankly, I would be completely fine with that rather than the Jets. Jets are going to be in there because they could technically afford it, and the Commanders could also be in the conversation. I don't see the Cardinals doing it, and I don't see the Cowboys doing it. And the Browns and the 49ers, I just don't see it. I really, really don't. But that's basically where my mindset is when it comes into it. Teacher Dan is trying to teach math. Absolutely, man. Listen, I was always terrible at math, to be honest with you. I was always terrible at math. What about the Jets? If the Jets get him, do they have to pay twice as much? NY Cursor is coming in. Absolutely not, dude. You look at his contract, right? So real quick, $16.89 million is what he is owed this year, but this is his base salary. This means that he gets paid out in 18 increments all year. So if the Raiders wait until the trade deadline, this Raiders team has, I wanted to see what it was. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 games before the trade deadline. If they wait that long, then the Jets would only have to pay him $8.5 million in a base salary. And y'all have $16 million in cap right now. I'm sure you'd end up giving him a larger contract. But here's the deal. Y'all have quite a few young players that are due contracts here within the next couple of years. Would you guys be willing to make a move like that? Would he be willing to take some sort of team-friendly deal for a potential to play with Aaron Rodgers again? That's my question, right? But yeah, I mean, he could definitely do that. If we trade for Adams, that would slow Coleman's development. I totally agree with you. I am not on board with this. And the Ravens could be a surprise team to go get Adams. They certainly could. I'm actually interested to see where y'all's cap situation is. I mean, regardless, like I said, all right, his guarantees have already been paid. And really, all Devante Adams would cost this year, as long as the team didn't restructure, would only be 8.5. And I know a team would restructure the second that he ended up walking in the door. So the Ravens are also a sleeper team, if that was the case. But for the love of God, save some pussy for the rest of us, man. Holy shit. If the Jets get him, the entire team implodes at the end of the season, win or lose, NY Cursor. What if we get him in week 6? Does it double then? So basically, take this number that I'm showing you right now, and then basically he's getting paid $944,444 per game. So basically, just take this total figure right here and then estimate how many games he would have left before the trade deadline, and that's how much you would have had to pay him. Right now, y'all are at about $16 million, and he's already played 4 games. So technically, you could afford him. It's basically just how it plays out. So that's just kind of how it works. Sean McDermott said that if Taylor Rapp can't go on Sunday because he is in concussion protocol, he wouldn't hesitate to call Micah Hyde to replace him. Scott, interesting. Did he say that today? Because I don't recall that specifically. He said that he's keeping him on ice, and he said that he trusts the guys that we have. And that was yesterday. He could have said something entirely different today. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still kind of on that level, like right now, where I genuinely believe that safeties really aren't that important, right? For a defense to operate efficiently. Yes, they should trade for Adams. He ain't taking a team-friendly deal. And the Bills aren't in the Super Bowl winning business. I am convinced of that. We have Deshaun Rambo. Dude, I hope. Oh, no. He's a Bills fan. Listen, man. I'm sorry, Deshaun. For a second, I thought you were a Dolphins fan, and I was about to give you the smoke. However, I don't know, man. Right now, how the Buffalo Bills are set up is that we are built to compete with the AFC East, and we are built to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Beane has said that over and over and over again. That's how this roster is built. We are not built to compete with teams in the AFC North, which are typically very physical, right? So the first prerequisite is us winning the division, which where it stands right now, we are on top. And let's just respond this week and make it happen. First step is winning the division, and then let's have some conversations about the Super Bowl, right? Let's have some conversations about the Super Bowl. If we are so high on Josh Allen, if we get in arguments with people all the time saying that, yo, listen, he's like the second best quarterback in the league, he's the third best quarterback in the league, and we're watching other QBs that are in the same conversation as him win with absolutely zero talent, like I'd say the Chiefs from last year. They had zero talent around them last year, and they still won a Super Bowl back-to-back years. I feel like we have to have a little bit more faith. But step number one, my dude, is winning the division. And that is the only thing that my eyes are set on. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. The only thing my eyes are set on right now is this Houston Texans matchup, walking on into it. walking on into it. Dan, you really think you need the GOAT Devante Adams? We are winning the division, no doubt in my mind. Basically $1 million a game. Wow. I disagree. They went 3-1 against the AFC North just 2 seasons ago, but how banged up were they? So that's the question, right? So 2 seasons ago, we were down like 28-10, I think, against the Baltimore Ravens, and we came back and we won. Cincinnati always has our number. And the Cleveland Browns, I mean, is what it is. And wasn't it 2 or 3 seasons ago when the Steelers punched us in the mouth like the first week of the season? Historically, in the Josh Allen era, in fact, I'll go ahead and I'll check this out. And not that I believe that wins are a quarterback stat, but this is Josh Allen's stats against the AFC North. All right. Yeah. Career record. Yeah, he's 6-6 against the AFC North. He's 6-6 against the AFC North. Let me see AFC East. So the AFC East is 24-11. Let me see AFC South. So the AFC South, 6-6. Let me see AFC West. AFC West, he's 9-3. So it's just how these teams are built, right? Each team is built to compete in their division, and that's just kind of how it plays out. Have the Bills ever been a good against the run team in the last 5 years? No, we have not. A big QB throwing to a big target, I would try and get him if it works out financially, maybe Ocho. Okay, you're suggesting Ocho Cinco as a potential for the Buffalo Bills. Folks, do me a favor, smash that like button the second that you come in. We want 150 likes smashed each and every single time that we stream on here, and subscribe to the channel. We want 50,000 subscribers by the end of the NFL season. If you're on X, and I see a lot of you on X, 155 of you already, come on over to the YouTube channel and be a part of this live chat community that we have right now. It's absolutely beautiful. Would the Bills give up Khalil Shakir and a second-round pick for Adams? I don't want Shakir gone at all. So we have Hassan Reddick desperately wants to play for the Raiders. Maybe a straight-up trade in the works, perhaps. But Devante Adams, I think they are just not one for one. Winning the division means a lot, actually. Home field in round 1, round 2, if you're the 2 seed like last season in the AFC title game. I mean, listen, I think that the first step is winning the division, right? And so far in these playoffs, we've always just come up against this monster, which is the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So that's step number 1 is winning the division. I'm not worried about whether or not that this team can compete for a Super Bowl because I have no idea what these rosters are going to look like in a couple of months. Look at all of these injuries, ravishing teams that we thought that were going to be good, right? Like all of us thought that the Niners were going to be running away with the NFC West. Rams were going to be competitive. And as much as we hate the Miami Dolphins, I don't think anybody expected them to start off 1-3. All right. This league is a week-to-week league for a reason. And I think that this Buffalo Bills team, as long as we stay reasonably healthy on the offensive side of the football, we're going to be completely fine. Scott is saying, we just signed a defensive tackle from the Falcons practice squad. Indeed, Scott, we did. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea who the hell that fool is. I'll be completely honest with you. He's a big dude, though. He's 6'4", 300 pounds. I don't think he ever leaves the practice squad, though, to be completely honest with you. Look at that. Look at that. Folks, smash that like button. Somebody just came in and said that only 30 like buttons have been smashed. That is absolutely piss poor behavior. Hit that like button, thumbs up sign. It propels it out to the YouTube algorithm, and let's get a conversation going. I'm going to be live on BetUS TV's The Huddle in about a half hour. And as many of you know, this is going to be the first time that we have a moment and an opportunity to talk shit to TD Finns Talk. All right. If y'all have not been a part of BetUS TV's The Huddle, this is our NFL show that we have Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. EST. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where it is so you can go ahead and subscribe because we're going to be live in a half hour. That's the wrong one. Hold up. YouTube.com. There it is. Look at that. BetUS TV.
The Huddle Show. Daily football news, rumors, and prediction analysis. Featuring Dan Mitchell, TD Finns, and Richie. Live every weekday at 3 p.m. Eastern. on the BetUS TV YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. So as you can see, guys, it's NFL Week 4 recap, and the Dolphins fall 1-3. All right, listen, we're going to be live here in a half hour. Just go to BetUS TV channel and go on ahead and subscribe to this bad boy. In fact, I'm going to go on ahead and just put this in the chat. Just make sure you go right over there after this, my friends, because we have some things to say. We have some games to unpack, everything. Let me see. Did the Fish lose to the Titans? Marco is saying, where do you think Adams ends up when he is traded? I think that dude's probably going to be on the Jets. So I'd say Jets, or who are the other teams I was taking a look at? Let me see. Based off of like money. So give me the Patriots, the Lions, or the Jets or the Commanders. Probably what makes sense. It would be super funny if the Green Bay Packers and also make a play. Say the Packers make a play, then that's going to be absolutely insane. I mean, if that was the case, guys. Look at that. Wild shit right here, boys. All right. So I need to jet, no pun intended. Come here to vent, but Bills fans are generally cool. Keep doing good work, Dan. Adams for Reddick. Make it happen. Cut us some slack. With that, I am gone. Thank you so much, NY Cursor. I appreciate that. Zion Logue is a draft pick for the Falcons from this year's draft, I believe. Are the Dolphins the worst team in the AFC East division? I'll be completely honest with you, man. It's sort of difficult for me to suggest that they are not the worst team in football, right? It's them or the Jacksonville Jaguars, to be completely honest with you. We have Richardson, and the Ravens exposed the communication problems at linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. I'll tell you what, man, it's definitely difficult when Bernard's out there. You know what I mean? Like, he was quarterbacking the defense, wasn't out there. It is what it is. Dolphins might be the worst team in football. They're blatantly tanking. And do you feel good about our chances in Houston? Jordan Smith is coming on in. I'll tell you what, my friend, I am going to be unpacking a lot of all that there is to be known about this matchup against the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. All right. Tomorrow is going to be my full-scale preview and prediction. So if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, smash that like button and turned on bell notifications. I highly suggest that you do. I sincerely hope so, man. Like, I sincerely hope so. There are a lot of matchups that I think go into the Buffalo Bills' favor, but we're just going to have to see. Just 1.5 sacks in 50 games for the new guy. Taron better come back this week, because if not, why didn't he go on IR? Matthew C., great question. I'm going to tell you this, dude. I'm almost wondering if Sean McDermott is saving Taron Johnson and Bernard for the Jets, because that's the game he really wants, since it is divisional. So don't be surprised if one or both of them are still not playing. What Kevin Welch says Adams does not like Buffalo. He certainly does not. We're fine there. Y'all ain't getting Devante, John Hendricks. Watch, bro. No. I'm just kidding. I totally agree with you. We're not. The Jags are the worst team. They're the only ones without a win. Hip hop, they have one. He's a rookie, and they won't let him play enough. Isn't there a limit on IR comebacks? There's two. I hope Benford is able to slow down Nico Collins. Listen, so when it comes into Christian Benford, like, dude has been absolutely locked down. He's been great. His PFF scores were surprisingly even good against the Baltimore Ravens with every single receiver that he was covering. So I actually like our secondary against Nico Collins. If Taron Johnson is back, I also like him against Stephon Diggs, because they have been operating with Diggs outside of the slot a tad. And then even then, I still like Rasul Douglas too, but we're going to have to see what's going on. Y'all might hate me for this, but the Bills aren't nasty enough on defense. Seems like way too many nice guys on the side of the ball. So I do agree that I wish that we were somewhat more physical. But I'll tell you what, don't sleep on Sean McDermott, because Sean McDermott's strategy is typically waiting for the offense to show their hand, right? That's why we always see Sean McDermott let an offense march down the field and score on the very first drive, typically, because he's trying to figure out what is in their playbook, what was their game plan. And normally that works, because you see this defense again and again and again adjust, right? And shut down vast majority of these things. Like watch. So the Cardinals game was a great example, and the Miami Dolphins was a great example as well. Now the Ravens were not, because he didn't have time to have the Ravens show their hand because of that first handoff to Derrick Henry when he ended up taking it to the house. Basically how it all kind of plays out. I like this defense, and I really think that they are going to show out on Sunday. And to be completely honest with you, I need that next game to be Buffalo setting the tone on our defense. Thoughts on Mahomes injuring his number one receiver who shouldn't have been playing this season to begin with? I've been seeing some shit that the Dolphins might even trade Tyreek Hill back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't even know at this point. Get Danielle Hunter from the Texans. He was just traded over there. I highly doubt that's a fact. I need the next game to be Buffalo setting tone on defense. We have Lucas Harrington in the chat, man. He's doing his thing. Is the game on Sunday at 1 or 4? It's at 1 o'clock. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. It is at Sunday at 1 o'clock, man. Listen, I'm an old man, and I am in bed at 9 p.m. almost every single day, all right? I mean, like I'm laying in bed at like 8 p.m. watching TV, and lights are out for me at damn 9:30. I hate not being in bed past 9, so give me all of the 1 o'clock games possible. No question about it. Oh, man. It's my boy Mike D. Buffalo is coming in. Dan, and do you think we need a new kicker ASAP? Sword 2022. Yes. Yes, we do. I'm sorry, but I'm over Bass. I have zero hope that he is going to get over the yips. He's just, dude, he's way too inconsistent. And so old man Mitchell, oh my God. Someone just said old man Mitchell, the TikTok star. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is right. Unfortunately, I am a TikTok star. Unfortunately. I didn't want to be, but it is what it is. Tyler Ass. It's Tyler fucking Ass, man. That's exactly what it is. He's absolutely terrible. I hope at least 3 sacks. 9-2 by week 12. We lose to Seattle in a game-winning field goal. I could see us dropping one to Seattle. I really do. Well, would y'all rather he get traded to the Jets? No. Surprisingly enough, so I think the 3 biggest landing spots are Jets. Next would be the Lions, and third would be the Washington Commanders. I think those are the 3 teams that make the most sense. And if Devante Adams, say that he goes on, so right to the Lions, like rest in peace to the NFC. Rest in peace to the NFC, man, for sure. Dan, and do you think we should let Solomon play? I mean, listen, he's taken advantage of several of his opportunities, but as far as all of our other edge rushers, I think they have been doing great, like first and second rotation. See, I would say, Michael, say that there was some sort of injury for sure, but like don't fix what's not broken as of right now. 3 teams that'll never win the Super Bowl. And the Lions would be crazy, would be absolutely disgusting. In my opinion, the Mac Hollins experiment is over. I'm fine with Mac Hollins, bro. I'm fine with Mac Hollins. And so I feel like he's doing his job. And so y'all play Dallas this season? No. Oh, all right. Folks, I just wanted to hop on here for a second and entertain what I saw on X. People were like, oh my God, let's get Devante Adams, dude. Like I said, I don't see it happening. We just don't have the money. And Bean is cheap right now. He has to be. He's playing money ball. He is desperately trying to save our cap room for the future. So I just don't see it happening. And surprisingly enough, I'm still very happy about this team. And so it is what it is. Dan, he's going to be a Jet and try to go get Hill. I don't know, man. And see, I hope not. And so I sincerely hope that it's... All right, listen. So right in an ideal world, I would love Adams to be a Detroit Lion. You keep him far away from the AFC, especially the AFC East. But anyway, guys, I'm going to be live on BetUS TV's The Huddle here in 15 minutes. I certainly hope that I see you over there. Again, we are live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. EST, and this is the first time that we get to talk to TD Finstock after a heartbreaking loss to the bottom feeder Tennessee Titans. Very excited to dive into that episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later. Deuces.